G'day, Shah here once again. I've had the Garmin Tread Overland now for about 6 months, and after using it for both extended duration journeys and also a lot of around town driving, I just wanted to share my top 5 favourite things about it. So let's go take a look. The next of the tools is something that I find myself using a lot when I'm just navigating around town, and that's the up ahead information. So you'll see here it's just on the side menu down to your right and up ahead. So what you'll see here is you get a main list of facilities that are available, so service stations, banks, any shops that are close by, and also rest areas. So at the moment you'll see here I don't have anything in terms of service stations or banks or anything, but I do have a nursery which is close by. So what I can do from there is select on that nursery, and as you would have noticed that I mentioned previously a minute ago, I can select on that little eye for information thing, and we talked about just a minute ago that information screen. So you'll know from that we can go adventure, we can add it as a next stop, we can look at our Bird's Eye Direct data, we can look at our weather data. So something you can use both on a longer journey but also around town. What I particularly find very, very helpful with this is using it around town again as well. It's one of those things that's very, very helpful. And you'll see just there, that just gives you addition to all of your next stop or last stop, or adding it to your current route, all of the rest of those buttons that are available there. So another thing that's really, really handy, and particularly if you're looking for the nearest servo, something that I find invaluable. I don't know how many times you yourself might have been sitting in your car going, geez, I wish I knew where a servo was. What you can do is basically just select on that side thing there and just go straight to it, and it'll direct you, which is fantastic. The next of the additions that I find super, super helpful, and this may be more so for people who have owned other Garmin devices previously, is the fact that there's now 4 data fields down the bottom of your screen. All of this data here is really, really helpful. I've mentioned this previously on another video on taking a look at some of the in-depth features of the Garmin, so we won't go too much into that at this stage, but a brief overview of what you can do is you're not actually stuck with each of these data fields here. If you want to actually change them, you can really easily do so. You can just say, all right, well, I'd like to make that time till next stop, or when I'm arriving, that sort of thing. You can do all of it on the fly, and it takes literally, as you can see there, a second to change it. So it's just handy information to have along the way if you're just doing short journeys or long journeys, you know, either or. And if you're connected via the Garmin Tread app, which we are at the moment, I can also put things like temperature data there as well. So really quite handy stuff to have, and it's something that I use all the time. Quite often I like to know what time it is, so I usually leave time there. That one there gets left as kilometers an hour. What you'll see when you select on there, and we mentioned that previously, is you get an overview of your data for trip A, trip B, all the rest of it. So that field in particular is not changeable. It actually enables access to a separate field here, but you've got these other 3 fields down the bottom of the screen which are changeable, and they're something that I use all the time. Just fantastic. And the 5th and final feature of the Garmin Tread Overland, which I enjoy and use daily, and probably is my most favorite, and these 2 features are actually connected to the Garmin Tread app. The first of which is the weather, something I use all the time. Sometimes I like having the weather just sitting there on the side. You can actually select either of those little side icons there and get an overview for the next few days of where you're at. You'll see there you've got temperature data on screen, humidity, and also wind information as well. Super, super handy. The other thing you can actually do is view the radar, which is something I use all the time, especially if I'm trying to avoid rain. And you'll see at the moment from the Brisbane and the Gold Coast, we've got some clouds out to sea there, so super handy. And again, this is another view that I love just having sit there, because you know, it's handy to know when there's rain, when it's coming, how heavy the rain's going to be, and if you were in particular looking to avoid it, you know, you may be sitting around camp even with the tread. As I mentioned previously in videos, you can take it off the mountain. It has its own power source, so you can just sit with it around camp and you can view what the current weather is doing as well. So you may actually just want to have it sitting like this, connected by Wi-Fi to your mobile device, to your phone, and via the Tread app you can get this weather data. Super handy stuff to have. I absolutely love it. And you'll see once again there, you can get back to that current location screen. And the next of the features that I love, and probably love the most about this particular thing, is the traffic. Now, unfortunately at the moment we are not anywhere where there is any traffic, so we don't have any traffic reported ahead. And as you'll see there, you've got the little Garmin Tread icon connected at the top. Now, one of the wonderful things about this as well is if you don't have any live traffic selected, you can actually select overview. So what I can see here is that I've got a bird's eye map of what my current route is. And if I wanted to look at any roads in particular that had any traffic on them, what you'd see is red icons on the screen and you would have traffic warnings that appear. But because I'm out far away from any traffic at the moment, it's firstly telling me that I'm on the fastest route to where I'm going. It's something that is super handy, something that I love, and when you're in traffic, it's something that I get tons and tons of use out of. You'll see here I've got yellow and red icons on the screen, so that's indicating to me that there is a bit of traffic down there around Kenmore area. So if I wanted to get around that traffic, there's a couple of different things you could do, which we'll cover at a later date in terms of navigation. But if I wanted to just myself decide to go another route, I could just instantly just go, all right, well look, I can see that there's a lot of red and a lot of blocked up there. And you would also receive messages on screen back at this particular view here that there is a delay and how many minutes the delay is. So it's something that's eminently handy in terms of general everyday use. I find myself using it all the time. It's great to get around traffic, and especially if you're in town and at a place where you know a lot of the main roads and a lot of the other roads that you can to get around traffic, you can just look on there and check out what the live traffic data is and get around traffic. So super handy to know. All right, well that's it today from us on the Garmin Tread Overland. I just wanted to share with you my top 5 things about the device and things that I get use out of every single day. If you're looking at buying the device yourself, I hope this video has actually helped you. And if you actually have the device yourself and you have a couple of your own favorite things about it, make sure you share them with me in the comments down below. I'd really appreciate that. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and share the channel as well. I really do appreciate that. It helps us to grow. All right, well once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time we get 4 wheels on the road.